Hello again, everyone. Well, I've got a new little gizmo. Honestly, I see somebody's got something and I am so covetous. My friend Nicola used one of these for doing some embossing. It's a pancake maker. This is what it is. Just arrived from Amazon, and I thought I could do the unboxing business, but nobody wants to see people taking a box home, do they? But this is interesting. Look, all the things you can do. Chocolate brownie cookies look fabulous to me, but whether this is going to be used for craft all the time or not, I don't know. We will see. The idea, I believe, is from the wonderful Marion Embossing. She used one of these things for doing all sorts of embossing. And the joy of using one of these is if you have a lot of embossing powder on something, particularly, ultra high, that kind of stuff, you start to use your heat tool even from underneath, and some of the grains will go flying because of the wind that comes out of your heat tool. Whereas this one hasn't got any wind at all. So what I thought I would do is try and make a card for chaps. The reason being, I have had these, the little Mdf Cogs, around for ages, and I haven't actually used them. They've been knocking around in the... I've got loads of these kind of things. I've got, gardening things and all sorts. So what I thought I would do is try and emboss some of those in my pancake maker and just see if I can make a card. So what I've done is I dug out a couple of circles from my press cut nesting dies, and I've cut two different sizes of grease. I don't think it is greaseproof paper. I don't know if it's don't know what it is really. Been in the drawer for a long time. It looks like it needs using. Probably been there for about 20 years. So I'm going to line my pancake maker with one of these. Just pop that in there. Okay. Next, I'll put that down for a moment. What I want to do is just put some Versamark on some of these and pop them in there. So we'll just kind of see. I don't know whether to do the sticking of the powder on in there, or on a piece of card first and then putting it in, but I'll find out. So here we go. I will get a piece of paper for sprinkling this on. Let's just do the Versamark first. Can you see that? I'm sorry, I don't know if you could see it. This is just to grab a bit of that powder. And I found some in the drawer that I must have bought from Tonic Studios. The ones with the jewels on the top. You may be able to see it just at the back there. Let's just try some of these. Pretty random really, isn't it? But let's see. This one I thought I would try. It's called, it had a name that I thought went kind of well, Carbon Sparkle. That kind of appealed to me, so I've never used it. So we'll see what it's... Oh, there you see, I haven't used it. Ooh, might be interesting. Put that in there. Now let's see. Okay. Let's pick these up, put them in here. I don't really want to shake too much off because then it'll hopefully be a bit thicker. So let's try it. I'll pop this back in here while we're anticipating. I don't know how long it's supposed to take. I haven't actually read the instructions because I'm not cooking in it, so perhaps I should have done, really. It's a question of all else fails, read the instructions. While that's cooking, what I thought I would try and do is, there's some more of these that I had out. I wanted to make a background for the cogs, and I embossed with this embossing folder. I find these really difficult to get the right sandwich for my machine. I've got a Platinum 6, and I'll tell you what I did to do it, to emboss it. I just had my base plate, one platform top, and then I used about 3 of these mylar shims. Just put this with the card inside on the top and straight through the machine. Nothing on top of this, just through the machine. So that was that. I mean, it is a problem, really, because they are just so thick. But you just need to experiment with what you've got to find out the best way to do it. Let me just check this, because I don't know quite what's going on here. Ooh, look. Now, see, that one's got a lot on, and it looks nice, doesn't it? Let me I'll put these onto a piece of silicone. Now, I don't want to put them on a piece of silicone first, but I think they might be all right to go onto the paper. Need to be careful with the heat. I think I'm going to put a bit more on, actually. See, I love that one because I didn't knock any off of that, did I? And this one's quite a nice thick one too. Now, I've just had a thought. I think the way to get these off is not with these, but with a palette knife. That's going to be perhaps easier. Hold that still. Let me just see. I'll just cover that up again for the minute. Now, are these cool? Yep. If I try and touch them when they're still molten, they'll smudge. I like the look of these. It's an interesting embossing powder, isn't it? Right, we'll put another layer on, and I think I will try and leave them more loaded, if you know what I mean. Yes, if I use the palette knife, there shouldn't be any danger of a tweezer prong damaging the top surface. Okay, now let's see. This should be much thicker now. Oops. Okay. Put this back in here. Right, let's look. Not quite. Now, what I wanted to do with this is, as I say, I embossed the whole thing. And what I wanted to use was just a portion of this. It's got screws around the outside, and I cut a piece out. What I did was this. It's not a straight line, so let's look at this piece here. And I just did a kind of, a wiggly, not very straight line up where the join is. And then when I got to the edge, I did the same thing going down here as well, so that I didn't get a perfectly straight line down there as well. Just make it wiggle a little bit. There we go. So that's a little backdrop, I thought, to put the cogs on. Let's have a look. Oh, they're looking lovely. I'll put them on the silicone mat for the minute. It's an interesting embossing powder, isn't it? There we go. Now I'm going to dispose of that and take the plug out of the appliance. So I don't want it on any more for the moment. So we'll take this out and we can move that away. Okay. Never know, you might be able to use some of this for a background for something, mightn't you? It's a thought. It's kind of interesting. Right, those are just going to be cooling for the moment. I'm going to have to get rid of the embossing paste off the end of there and here. So let's have a look at this. Here's the card panel. I thought that could go on there. We could have some of those arranged onto this. And for a sentiment, I've chosen some of the Francoise Reed birthday greetings. These ones I showed you the other day. They're just like boxed, and I've got "Have a brilliant birthday." So I'll stamp those in a minute or two. So now this piece, what to do with this? And I thought I might like to do a bit of mica powder-ish on this. So I think I'll use my Versamark again. The back side of this looks really nice as well, actually. Look at it. It's lovely. It's just cheap mica. So what shall we have? We'll have some of the brown, some of the sort of charcoaly colour, and the black. Maybe a bit of the goldy stuff. Let's have this deep gold. We'll see. Okay. Now, soft brush, like a Perfect Pearls brush. I will do this on the paper as well, actually. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's do a little bit of brown. Hardly, just that's, this is just the stuff that fell out. I haven't even put anything onto my brush. It's just the stuff that fell out when I opened the box. Slightly different one. Quite a lot of gold looks like this one. I think what I'll do is this. It looks quite goldy on here, doesn't it? All right. Now the black one. Oh, just fell. Perfect. I think I'd like a bit more black. Yes, let's have a bit more black. The brown is a bit too coppery for me at the minute, so I'm going to try the gold. I'm just going to give this a little spritz with the water, just to a waft, just to look at this. My goodness. Through the air. Now what I want to do is a bit of gold gilding wax. I want to try and highlight these screws. That's the objective. Let's see if I can do it. That doesn't look too bad, but I'm not sure about the colour. Let's look at these. Might be okay. These are, I love the effect of these, and the fact it's so raised because I could put almost like a pile of embossing powder on the top. It's brilliant. So thank you so much, Marion Emberson. She comes up with the most amazing ideas for embossing, particularly. She works with Wow. I think that needs a bit of black as well. So let me get some black ink. I think I'll use black soot actually for this. I'm just going to dull it down a little bit. I want it to look incredibly distressed and rather industrial. Let's have another look. Yeah, that's better. That is better. Don't know where they're going to go. Okay, let's make a space. I think I'll just put a little black around the edges of this as well. Mainly because I just got a dirty mark on there. Right, here are my sentiments. And because that's the embossing on the cogs is really shiny, what I think I'll do is I will emboss the stamping for this. Once we've got it to a nice deep black. Pretty good already, actually. Just ready to get my embossing powder ready. There it is. One more time. Lovely. Have a brilliant birthday. I will use my embossing gun, my heat tool for this. I'm not happy with this back panel. I don't think. I'll see what it looks like when these are on. Now I'm not happy with this background. What I'm going to do is actually a bit dirty there, but I'm going to cut it down, make it a smaller one. Let's look at this one. That works rather better, doesn't it? So if I get a card base now to put that on, we should be in business. Well, I've had to tidy up, got rid of a lot of the mess, and I just need to assemble this card. The cut down front panel works really well. I decided to use the next size up nesting die, the square one from Presscut, for a little border. I've put some foam tape on the back of the sentiments, and all I need to do now is just assemble the whole 9 yards. So let's just start. This is a bit of card that I think my whizzy chair ran over, but for the backdrop, it's absolutely fine. It's surprising what sins can be covered with a little bit of, what shall we say, prudent mounting, prudent displaying or whatever. So I'll pop this one onto here. Okay, there's a bit of a smudgy mark there, so that's covered with that. So let's put some of this onto here. This mica, I'm not sure if it's got a fixative, if it's got a binder. I know that Luscious powders from Indigo Blue do have a fixative in them. These ones, they're just cheap ones. I think they're from, I don't know, from eBay or Amazon or somewhere. There we go. So I did spray it with water. Water does often just fix mica from rubbing off. If the water didn't do it, you can always use hairspray. So we're going to pop these on, and I think what I'll do with these is just pop a little, I'm just wondering, grab and go, maybe. You need something. I think I'll put it on with a brush rather than with a palette knife. Let's just see if I can, or should I just use my tiny palette knife? I don't want to get it behind, you see. I'll try a brush. Let me see. I can take out any little bits with a small brush. Perhaps I'll use this smaller brush for this. Right, now I've arranged my cogs. I started off putting that one down here, realised I couldn't get the brilliant in, so I had to do a bit of jiggery-pokery, but we got there in the end. So let's just do this and then we will be finished. Now you may have noticed I didn't put any glue stick on my foam tape this time. That's because I didn't actually mind if these weren't absolutely straight. So this is to go onto here. Now I've put that lot on. I can't very well put my tape run on the back of that, so I'll do it on the front of this. So there we are. I'll just show you this actually. I've just bought this and I really, really like it. I'll show you. What I bought is this. This is a brush washer. Got it on Amazon, and you wash your brush in this, but it's got all sorts of little gizmos for you to clean your brush with. Different, you know, shape doodads. So give it a good old clean in there. You can pop it in there for now. Let me just clean this one. Make sure you get all the whatever it is in your brush out. And then you do this. The water goes down into the reservoir at the bottom and it refills from the jar at the top. Now, how clever is that? You've always got clean water. I think that's amazing. It was less than £10. I think that's absolutely fab. So here we have a card for a chap. Something that's, you know, clean and simple actually, but, you know, a little bit more masculine. So I hope you enjoyed it, looking at a few things, and the pancake maker was brilliant for embossing these little MDF pieces. I thought that's an amazing thing, and I've got many ideas for trying more things. So thank you to Nicola, thank you to Marion Emberson for that. That's wonderful. So have a lovely day and come back and see me very soon.